spending, we're doing some AdWords advertising. We're spending, let's say, $1,000 a day. The conversion rate on our website is 2%. So that means for every 100 visitors that come to our website, only 2 of them will end up buying one of our products. So if we're spending $1,000 today, maybe we're getting about 20,000 visitors. So 20,000 visitors times a 2% conversion rate means we get 400 customers, 400 people buying our product. And let's say we're selling our product at $50 a pop. That means we make about $20,000 of revenue. And so our return on ad spend is basically 19 to 1. So for every dollar that we spend on AdWords, we make back about $19. So that's the $20,000 here, minus the $1,000 divided over the $1,000. So what can we do to actually get our return on ad spend to be much larger, right? Whatever return you're getting on your investment, you can always do much better. So one way you can do this is you can increase your advertising spend by 50%. Because if you increase your advertising, that should mean you'll get more visitors, right? So if I increase my spend by, let's say, $500, I'll make about $1,500. I'll spend $1,500 in total. My conversion rate's the same, but I get more visitors to my website. That means I'll get more sales, which means I'll make more revenue, and so my sales go up 50%. But you'll notice here my total return, my return on my investment hasn't increased at all. It's still the same, right? So you go like, all right, well, I spent more on advertising. Yes, I've got more sales, but the budget isn't being used more efficiently or more effectively. So this is where conversion optimization comes in. So let's say we didn't spend any more on advertising, but we took steps to increase our conversion rate. So maybe we improved the site design, we improved the purchase flow, maybe we put in a better shopping cart so we get more people buying. So now it's a 3% conversion rate. For the same number of visitors, we end up getting more customers, more revenue, more sales. And because we get more sales for the same advertising budget, our return on ad spend now is much higher, right? So no matter who your manager is, if you go and show them this, I'm sure you're going to get a promotion next round, right? And then if you combine the two, increase your ad spend and increase your conversion rates, it's even much higher, right? The sales you make and the return on ad spend, suddenly you're seeing such great gains. So this is why you don't want to just be focused on that pre-click optimization. You also want to be focused on everything that happens after the click as well. So let me skip through this, but we talk about like compound testing, right? So today, if you don't end up testing your site design and improving your site, your conversion rate's always going to be this. But over time, today we might fix up your site, you'll see a 12% increase in conversion. For a while it's going to be 12%, then maybe 2 months later you'll improve your site again. You'll increase the conversion rate by 9%, and so on and so on. And over time, because you're taking steps to improve your website, you're testing out different designs, different tactics, hopefully you start to not have a conversion rate that's up here, but have something that's up here. And I'll show you examples later on of how Google, as a business, have used landing page testing to figure out what's the best way to present our website so that we get more people doing the things that we want them to do. So conversion optimization is really a process, right? So in my last talk I spoke about this part, which is about measuring, enabling measurement. And then once you have the measurement in place, you start to analyze the data, you start to identify where's our website doing really, really poorly. And you start to then experiment with different ways we can fix these areas, and hopefully that leads to an optimization and you make more sales. I'm going to skip through all of this. So the first thing we talk about here is landing page optimization. And this is really about when you have a landing page for your marketing, when you're driving people to a specific page, what can we do, what can we improve on that page to make sure that more people go to the next step and the next step and end up buying your product. And why is landing page optimization important? Because we've seen studies that show that if somebody has never been to your site before, never known your brand before, never seen your product before, when they go to your landing page, they make up their mind in 8 seconds whether they like you or not, right? And we all do that, it's all human nature, right? So we hear about first impressions count. This is a case of that. And in general, what people have seen, it takes about 8 seconds for somebody to make up their mind. So if it's going to take 8 seconds to grab their attention and get them to do something that you want them to do, you want to make sure that your landing page is simple enough, conveys the message effectively, and it makes it very clear to them like what that next action is. So we have a product called Google Website Optimizer. And it's built by the same people who build Google Analytics. And it's a free landing page testing tool. And what it allows you to do is to test different landing page designs. And then it will tell you, hey, of all these designs that you tested out, these are the ones that did really great. And these are the ones that are going to give you more sales or more conversions. And it eliminates the guesswork because you can basically test everybody's ideas. And sometimes the most wildest ideas that everyone laughs at is the one that works, right? So, with landing page testing, there are 2 flavors of testing. It's called multivariate testing and A/B testing, right? So there are other testing tools out there as well besides Google Website Optimizer. Whichever one you end up going with, you want to make sure you understand the difference between the 2. So A/B testing is the simplest testing procedure. It's where you have different versions of your web page, and as people click on your ads, they're taken to different versions, and then you can measure of these 4, 5 or 6 different versions that I'm running, which of these versions are converting the best. Then we have another one which is a little bit more complex in terms of like the statistics behind it, but it's called multivariate testing. So this is where you have a consistent site page layout, and you just test the different areas within the page. So if up here is a banner for your product, an image of your product, you might try 4 or 5 different versions of that image to see which one works. So with multivariate testing, you would take like a little different areas. So let's say I'm selling flowers. I would have 3 different types of flowers, flower photos I want to test. The headline, I could try different wordings to see which one speaks to my consumers better. And I could even try playing around with the color of the shopping cart button. And so with the multivariate test, we can then start to vary the images, the buttons, and the headlines, and try out different designs. And then a tool like Google Website Optimizer, what it will do is that when I come to your website, it will randomly send me to one of the different designs that I've set up in my multivariate test, right? So, and it will split you up equally as well. And it will even put a little cookie on your browser so that if you come back and you saw this the first time, we'll keep taking you back to that same one. So your customers don't have to feel like, hey, what's going on? I keep seeing a different color button every time I come back to the site. And then it'll keep track of which landing page you saw, and then if you end up making a purchase, it will then record, all right, for that purchase that was made, it was due to somebody coming to this landing page first, or this landing page first. And then we can tell you, all right, of everybody who came to these specific landing pages, what percentage of them ended up converting or doing the desired action. And then you can make a conclusion as to, all right, this is the design that works for us. Right, so for the longest time, whenever we went to speak to someone and say, look, you've got to be a bit diplomatic. You can't tell them their landing page sucks completely, but you've got to say, look, there's room for improvement. And then it started to become a conversation of what could we improve on the site. And it became a huge argument, right? It's like the designer would say, look, I went to 4 years of design school, I know this works. You got the marketing manager who says, look, I've been selling this for 4 years, my gut feel says this is going to work, right? Or then we've got the Hippo. Has anybody heard of the Hippo? It's the highest paid person's opinion, right? So it's the guy sitting at the head of the table. If there are any hippos in here, I apologize. But it's the guy sitting at the head of the table, sometimes he says, all right,